It's Nico time, baby. In Tennessee, man, you've been waiting for a very long time for Nico Iamaleava to be the guy for you. Well, guess what? Time has arrived. This Saturday, Tennessee, the Chattanooga Mocs coming to Neyland, and your guy will be QB1. So what can we expect from Nico? Not just in this game, all right? It's not just a one data point kind of video for us right now. What can you expect from him from the 2024 season? Because I think that's where this discussion gets actually a little bit intriguing. Before we get to that, make sure you subscribe right here to the On3 YouTube channel, baby. Tennessee fans, y'all been good to us, man. I mean, since this show started a couple of years ago on the On3 YouTube channel, y'all have been subscribing, y'all have been supporting, y'all have been making your voice heard. We appreciate you for that. If you have not yet subscribed to the On3 YouTube channel, no time like the present. Big year out there in Knoxville. Major year for college football. Want y'all a part of this. Also follow me on Instagram and on Twitter at JD Piquel to also make your voice heard and let me know where you agree, disagree, and all that, and then some. So we appreciate you for that. So here's kind of the national, 30,000-foot view around Tennessee when it comes to Nico Iamaleava. A lot of people, myself included, are saying, hey, man, this dude is physically, very, very gifted. Very, very gifted. Big body, talented arm, ability to move and shake a little bit. But people are saying, wait, didn't you tell us a year ago that Tennessee had a really gifted quarterback, physically? They were talking about this dude who's throwing down backflips and throwing the ball 90 yards. Weren't you just saying that a season ago? Now, first of all, I would say, hey, put some respect on Joe Milton's name. I mean, he didn't have a bad year by any stretch. The bar was just set way up at the 2022 level, which that was a pretty potent offense, to say the least. So don't throw too much shade at Joe Milton. However, I would say, yes, there is some similarities. Big frame. Again, Nico's 6'6", 215. Continuing to fill that out since he's gotten to Knoxville. Yeah, he's got some talented arm. He's got the ability to throw lasers all over the field. That's also another similarity between the two. But one of, I think, the key differentiators for me when I talk about Nico Iamaleava's game and how it differs from maybe what Joe Milton did a season ago, the mobility that he brings to the table, I think, is a game changer. Because when you have a quarterback that can break, contain, and ad-lib whenever the play breaks down, whenever there's a coverage sack, typically a coverage sack is, okay, we got to throw it away. We got to eat it and take a sack. We just got to live to survive another down. And sometimes that might be the best case. But with Nico Iamaleava's ability to be elusive and make defensive linemen have to chase him with how athletic he is, well, one, it keeps the play alive. Two, it forces defensive backs to cover these Tennessee wide receivers for what would have been 2 to 3 seconds. Now you got to cover for 4 to 5 to 6 seconds. Y'all, I'm just going to keep it a buck with you right now. There is no secondary in America that can cover all of these dudes for 5 to 6 seconds. Just straight up. And we're going to say a lot of names right now. I hesitate to do that because I don't want to miss somebody, but Mike Matthews, dude. Chris Brazzell, transfer from Tulane, dude. Dante Thornton, turning a corner since he got there from Oregon about 2 years ago now, dude. Brew McCoy when he's healthy, dude. Squirrel White. You understand what I'm saying. There's so many dudes now that will put the pressure on opposing secondaries. When Nico breaks contain, you're not going to be able to stick on them for the entirety of that play. It's just not going to happen. Okay, so that's one part of it. The other part of it, when he's able to get out of, the trouble situations and be able to keep his eyes downfield, we saw this when we went to spring practice. Dude is special when he throws the football on the run. There is very little accuracy loss. He still throws with a ton of velocity, throwing left, running right, throwing left. Just the ability, the arm talent to be able to make those throws is a massive, massive differentiating factor, I believe, from what you had last year with Joe Milton. Not knocking Joe Milton, but what you see with Nico this year, running the football-wise and breaking, contain, and extending plays will be a lot more Hendon Hooker-ish than what you saw from Joe Milton last year. So that's one part of it. The other part of it, now with what you have when it comes to design quarterback run game, I think they're going to involve Nico. Now, to what degree remains to be seen. I'm not lobbying for Nico Iamaleava to have quarterback power called for him 15 times a game. I'm not saying that. But when he does have his name called to run the football in the design run game, his athleticism, I think, gives you the potential to have a little bit more of a home run threat. I'm not saying he's ripping off 60-yard gains every time he tucks it and runs, but I am saying, you get him out in the open field, You get him one-on-one with a linebacker, he is, one, athletic enough, and two, elusive enough to be able to make something happen. Like we saw it in the bowl game against Iowa. How many times did we see Tennessee call the RPO, where it's, Nico, check the look on the outside. If you like it, great. If not, we got quarterback zone the other way. We got quarterback power the other way. And if you get him one-on-one with a linebacker in space, he is winning that matchup 9 out of 10 times. And he's going to be able to help you in a massive way in that sense. So that's huge to be able to call that in the red zone and the short yardage. That's massive. But on top of that, maybe the thing that's as important within this is, like, defenses have to prepare for that now. Like, you have to spend time during the week, probably extra time during the week, doing scramble drills, being able to make sure you're all fundamentally sound when it comes to defending the quarterback design run. There's going to be a lot of talking points during the week like, hey, this cat number 8 for Tennessee, he's going to scramble. And when he scrambles now, we got to make sure we're on our P's and Q's. So, one, having to prepare for that means you're not preparing for something else defensively. Like, it's another thing on the to-do list during the week to have on your plate, which the more that you can stack up the defense's plate to have to account for different things, that's advantage to the offense every single time. So even if you're not calling a bunch of quarterback design run, even if you're not having to do a bunch of ad-libs if you're Nico Iamaleava, it's going to benefit Tennessee just for the sheer fact that you have to prepare for it. So what I want us to all get clear on when it comes to expectations for Nico Iamaleava, here's what I would say. He is going to be special. All right? He is. He's going to be special. What I would say within that is he is going to be special, especially by the end of the season. Now, his ability is so great that it might make him the man from the jump, and he might not have the acclimation period that most first-year starting quarterbacks have. But I think we would be remiss if we just said, okay, game 1, game 2 against NC State, you're a finished product. That's not necessarily how I think we should handle this situation. He's super talented, but you cannot replicate live bullets in 11-on-11 practice. You can't. Like, when you're out there, when there's however many thousand fans screaming your name or screaming bad things about you in your name, like, it's a totally different beast. And from everything I've been able to gauge about him, from what people say, super mature, super composed, which is going to, again, benefit him in this spot. But let's understand now, it might take a couple of games for him to reach his final form of 2024. Okay, so understand now, by the end of the season, I think he's going to be one of the best quarterbacks in the SEC, if not all of college football. I feel that strongly about it. But those first 4 games, if he has a game where he throws for like 2 touchdowns, 1 interception, and he's right around 60%, maybe below that completion percentage, and he doesn't throw for over 300 yards, a lot of folks are going to be quick to say, told you he's overrated. Told you. Hey, they always do this with Tennessee. They just do it for clicks, I guess, because of the Tennessee logo. That's not what we're into here on this show, first of all. Second of all, what you are that first month of the season does not define you. It does not define you. For Tennessee, too, it doesn't have to define you in this new college football playoff format. Neither here nor there. The games against NC State and the game at Oklahoma are the 2 that I'm watching that I think will benefit him the most when it comes to resistance and how he learns from those games, plays in those games, progresses and maybe boosts his confidence from those games. Like, there's a lot to learn here about Nico that first month. But that first month, again, he's acclimating, he's progressing, and what he is early will not be what he is late. Because I think, again, what he is late will be pretty special, and it's going to be something that if you're a Tennessee fan, man, you should be fired up about. I think you will be fired up about, and it's going to be a good time, man. The Nico era has begun. So, again, subscribe to the channel. Let me know at JD Piquel, Instagram and Twitter, your expectations for Nico in 2024 and maybe your Vols in general. Tomorrow on the live show on this channel, 11 a.m. Eastern, we are giving you our picks for some of the top matchups in Week 1. Subscribe so you don't miss it. Again, 11 a.m. Eastern. Going to be a real good time, man. College football is all the way back. Let's have the greatest season in history. We love y'all. We appreciate y'all. We're going to keep this party rolling, and we will see y'all next time. Hey, y'all. Thanks so much for watching. Subscribe to the channel here to make sure you don't miss an episode of The Hard Count. Also, be sure to check out other videos on the On3 YouTube channel.